All right, so from Friday's assignment, page 167, 1 through 45, every other odd. Let's look at number 13. G of t equals t times square root of 4 minus t. And we've got this little restriction on there that t has to be less than 3. We'll see if that matters in a minute. Okay, the directions say find the critical numbers. Okay, critical numbers are where f prime is 0 or f prime is undefined. Well, in this case, g, but where the derivative is 0, where the derivative is undefined. So let's take the derivative, and we'll see if it's 0 anywhere and if it's undefined anywhere. But to take the derivative, I need the product rule. And even before I get to the product rule, I'm going to rewrite part of that as an exponent rather than as a radical. So f prime, that's an easy one. That's 1. G prime, that's not too bad. 1/2 4 minus t to the negative 1/2 times negative 1. Chain rule, you got to always look for the chain rule. So that negative 1 comes from the derivative at the inside. All right, step back. We're doing this because we are doing the product rule. So first times derivative of the second. First times derivative of the second. Oh, the derivative of the second has a lot of junk in there. So t over 2 with a negative. And then 4 minus t to the 1/2 is in the bottom. So I did a little bit of algebra kind of on the fly there, putting things where they need to go. Double check that. So t's in the top, 2's in the bottom, it's negative, and the square root's in the denominator. And that was just the first one. The second piece, so that's f times g prime plus the other way around. Oh, this one's easier because f prime is just 1. So plus the square root of 4 minus t. How helpful is that? Not real helpful yet, although I've got a denominator, so I can go ahead and say that g is undefined, meaning I'm dividing by 0 at t equals 4. So that would be a critical point, but t has to be less than 3, so I don't have to worry about t equals 4 because we weren't allowed to look there. It's got to be less than 3. So I'm not worried about any of the undefined places. I just now need to worry about the 0 places. And the only way to do that, probably not the only way, the best way to do that is to make this into one fraction so that I can look at the 0 at the top and the 0 at the bottom. So I'll get a common denominator. So I've got my common denominator. My numerators are minus t plus 2 times 4 minus t, because the square root and the square root cancel each other out, and we're back to just 4 minus t. So cleaning up the top a little bit. All right, lots of algebra. okay with all of that algebra? Any questions on that? All right, we already looked at the bottom being 0. That would be at 4, and that would make it undefined. But we weren't allowed to use 4. So we want to consider if g prime is 0. But the only thing that makes the fraction 0 is if the top is 0. So I'll set the top equal to 0. And that happens at 8/3, which is less than 3, just barely, but less than 3. So t equals 8/3 is our only critical number. So that was number 13 on page 167.